aren't picking up the switch or call so often, but communicating is big. Do you guys communicate? Have your linemen communicate at all, or not? Not too much. Okay. But
how many? Ben, real quick. How many of you guys are first year coaches? Okay, just so we're clear.
Okay.
So
all right. Perfect. Again, stop me if you have any questions. That's exactly. I'm gonna try to go as fast as I can to get everything in for that. All right. So just communicating, playing physical, playing low, which is can be difficult on the offensive line because we're expecting you to block with your hands. But we're gonna go over from everything from alignment to stance, and it really depends on the offense you guys are running too. But we have the center comes up. He makes the call on what defense you're going against. Now, do you guys go against multiple defenses?
Yeah, they're going to go against multiple defenses.
5 front or 4 front.
Oh, okay, and that could be the center could come up and just say 5 front even. I mean, we have different calls, but 5 front, 4 front, and that at least gives all the other guys okay, this is what they're in, or this is what we can expect from them, and we have an echo it down the line, and then they have all their other calls that they communicate with after that. Our alignments is 18 inches between center, between the guard, between the tackle, between the tight end. There are certain plays that will extend the tight end 3 feet, depending on if we need him to rip across the D lineman to get to the linebacker to do a drag route or something. But 18-inch splits, and then our alignment is our center gets down, then our guards set the line. We want their hand on the heel of the center, and their helmet should be on the hip of the center. So that it shouldn't look like a flying V. It should look like a straight line across for that. And the first couple days with our varsity guys, I'll stand right here when we get into inside run, and I'll just look and see, are we a straight line? And the guys I'm going to blame are the guards because they're the ones setting the line there. So 18-inch splits, hand on the heels of the center, helmet should be, and if they're a taller player, you might have to adjust where that is, but their helmet should be about the hip of the center. All right. In the first day, we go over stances. Stances and starts are probably one of the most important things to get the linemen ready and their feet work. So I'm going to have these guys get into our stances right here. Now, and when I get, because I'll come back and visit when I do D-line. D-line's obviously a little bit different. Offensive line, I let them choose what hand they put down. We'll practice right-handed stance, left-handed stance, but for the offensive line, I want them in the most comfortable stance to go right or left or go straight forward. All right, so we have their back foot is on the arch of their foot here. They're about shoulder width apart. If they're a taller player, again, they can widen out just a little bit, but we want it about shoulder width apart. And we have our 3 bends, hips, knees, and ankles. So then they get down, and then we bring their hand out forward, and it does not have to go super far. We want them to have a flat back, and it should almost line up in the inside foot. See how his hand's right on the inside of his foot right there? And you're going to see this a lot, or I'm probably going to see it when we go over with these guys and our junior high guys, is they want to bring the hand over here. You can see what happens to his shoulder there, or out here. You can see what happens. The focal point right inside foot of their back foot here. All right, flat back here. And this is, again, how flexible they are. Their back foot should be flat on the ground. Their front foot should be up maybe a ½ an inch. That one, if they want to put both flat foot, that's fine. The front foot could be up maybe a ½ an inch on.
Ben, do you have their feet straight ahead?
Yep, straight ahead.
Straight ahead on the feet?
Yep,
okay.
Straight ahead on their feet. Yep. Take it down one more time, guys. Okay, flat back, relaxed neck right there. And in the offensive stance, if I kick their hand, they should be able to stand right there. All right? A lot of times you're going to get this stance where you're going to get like a frog hopper and all that. And that, again, might be flexibility. All right, stand up. So one thing, too, is, and I talked with Coach Sherman about this, is getting their hips more flexible, doing drills, doing stretches that helps their hips, because sometimes they just can't get down in the stance. We have once in a while a freshman that can't squat because they can't get low. So we take a broomstick, put them against a wall, and see if they can squat down. Some of them with just a broomstick can't get down because their hips aren't flexible enough, and that might be the problem. And sometimes with my D linemen, if they're a little bit bigger, less flexible, I put them in a 4-point stance just because it's a little more comfortable for them. All right, so that's our stances. Now, before we get into any other drill, we'll get our boards out. Now, are you guys able to have boards at all? Or?
Yes.
All
yeah.
right.
Go buy a board at Lowe's. It's $2.
Whiteboard?
A regular 2x4. Those are
wider.
2x6. Grab a 2x4 for the kids. They're small, obviously.
Can we grab a shield for us, DB? So first drill we'll work is our